Count-controlled loops in IGCSE Computer Science. It's a loop that repeats a block of code a fixed and predetermined number of times, with an emphasis on the words fixed and predetermined. This type of loop uses an identifier, which is a variable or a counter that gets incremented on each loop. In terms of the syntax for the for loop, it's the following. For identifier, which is the name of the variable that we're going to use as a counter. Then we have an arrow pointing to the identifier, followed by the first value to the second value, which means we're going to start from value 1 and keep incrementing until we reach value 2. For example, if value 1 was 7 and value 2 was 10, we're going to start at 7 and keep incrementing with each loop until we reach 10. So we're going to loop 3 times. And then inside of the for loop, whatever is indented and before the keyword next is our statements or blocks of code. And this is code that's going to repeat with each and every loop. After we're done from the for loop, we're going to exit it using this next statement. Next, followed by the identifier that we're going to use. Just plot the name. And make sure you use the arrow, which represents assignment. And make sure to use the arrow, which represents assignment, instead of using the equal signs, which is a common exam mistake. The equal sign represents equals instead of assignment. We use the for loop when we know the number of iterations before we enter the loop. For example, I have a class of 30 students and I want to loop through each student in this class. Therefore, I'm going to use a for loop and loop 30 times on this class. So for example, this is how we use the for loop in normal syntax, in pseudocode. The I here is our identifier, and it is the variable that holds the current amount of loops that we went through in this loop. Then we have our two values, which are 1 to 10. So we're starting at I equals 1 and incrementing with each loop until we reach I equals 10. Therefore, we're going to loop 10 times. On each loop, we're going to output our text. And when we're done with the 10 loops, we're going to the next statement, which is this next I, which is the name of our identifier. You could name your identifier whatever you want using the same rules we use for naming variables. If you still need any help in IGCSE Computer Science or Mathematics, don't hesitate to reach out to me. My contact info is in the description down below. Thanks for watching.